Buenos dias. Buenos dias. ¿Cómo están? I'm gonna change the settings so I can y'all can type in messages if you want to. Okay? And at the end I will change it to audio. Buenos dias. My clock is notifying us it's time. The grandfather clock's right on schedule. How are y'all doing? Buenos dias, Angelo. Lucas, I see you. Doing good? Keen, doing all right? Gerard, buenos dias. Oh my God, PFPXD. I don't know what that means, but okay. Buenos dias, Isabela. ¿Cómo están? All right, so today we are going to learn how to make quesadillas. All right? I'm going to teach y'all how to make quesadillas. If you know what a quesadilla is, give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. You know how to make know what a quesadilla is? Yeah. They've kind of merged into our culture, right? The Mexican food is now merged with American food. A lot of people don't even know it's Mexican food. They think it's American food. All right, so quesadilla. Before we start with the quesadillas, we're going to talk about kitchen safety because we're going to be cooking. In order to cook, you got to have something hot, right? You got to be cooking with heat, caliente, right? Fuego. Fuego is fire. All right, so whenever you're dealing with fire, you got to think about not burning something down, right? Because fire can get kind of crazy. Fires want to get bigger, okay? They want to grow. They love to grow. Your job when you're cooking is to make sure the fire doesn't grow, the fire stays small, right? So you're basically a fire tender, right? You are in charge of the fire, all right? So we got to think about fires. So we're going to talk about worst case scenario first. We're going to get that taken care of, all right? So first thing is to make sure the fire never gets out of control is when you turn your stovetop on, okay? You never, ever, ever leave the kitchen. Buenos dias, Ajani, okay? You never, ever, ever leave the kitchen once you've turned the stovetop on. That's number one rule. The fire can't get bigger if you're looking at it, tending to it. If you walk away, it's going to do what it wants to do. It's like a toddler, right? It's going to do what it wants to do, which is get bigger. So never, ever leave the stovetop unattended, okay? Stovetop is that thing on top. Oven is the inside. Oven's a different story. You can bake a cake, set the timer, walk away. But the stovetop, no walking away. No walking away. Okay, so let's, like I said, we're going to talk about worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is the heat gets out of control and a fire starts, okay? It's going to happen sometimes. How are you going to handle that? What are you going to do? You got a fire, like, fire. You can't just scream at it and tell it to get smaller. How are you going to get rid of the fire? What can you do? Y'all can type in your suggestions. Fire extinguisher. Yes, that's great. Some people don't know where those are. Some people don't know how to use them. Daylin, I'm so glad you said that. Water in the kitchen is a no-no. Kitchen fires and water don't mix. You know what happens when you put water on a kitchen fire? It spreads. Because guess what? Kitchen fires are made up of grease and oil. Oil and water don't mix. They don't go together. They butt heads. So when you throw water on the fire, the grease spreads, the fire gets bigger. You're like, water, and then it gets bigger. You're like, what happened? Okay, so sand. I'm going to show you some things you can put on it, but if you can't get to anything, here's what you do. You grab a kitchen towel and you smother the fire. Sounds kind of crazy, just to like throw a towel. You think, it's going to catch on fire. No, because it's grease, you're smothering it. It needs oxygen to live, okay? Baking soda. Kayla, 2 thumbs up for Kayla. All right, baking soda. If you don't know what baking soda is, Arm & Hammer. This is the classic, all right? This is actually an ingredient in a fire extinguisher. Did you know that? This is what they put in fire extinguishers. One of the ingredients to put out fires. I don't know the science, okay? I'm not science mom. I'm not a science teacher. But I do know that if you put baking soda on a grease fire, it kills it, okay? So, yes, baking soda. All right. So that is your plan. And you got to have a plan for worst case scenario once you start cooking. All right. So I'm not saying you got to have your baking soda out on the counter. You could. But if you got to know, if you got a kitchen towel handy, that's good. All right. Actually, I had to dig for my baking soda. It was up in a cabinet. Y'all know I'm short. I had to dig. It was way up here. And if there's a kitchen fire, and let's say it's right here, and I'm reaching for it, I could actually be in danger and get caught on fire. So I would go with a towel if I didn't know where my baking soda was. Okay? All right, so more about kitchen safety, okay? Now that we've dealt with fire, is the clothes you're wearing, right? All right, so first thing, if you have long hair, y'all know I have long hair, all right, put it up. You don't want it in your food, okay? If you don't want to put it up, at least put a hat on, okay? Buenos dias, Reagan. We're making quesadillas today. We're talking about safety, okay? So first put your hair up, okay? Then sleeves, all right? These are pretty tight sleeves. You do not want big, billowy sleeves when you're cooking. I mean, first of all, you don't want your clothes to get ruined if you get grease on them, right? Second of all, if you drag it through the fire, guess what? You are going to catch fire. All right, so sleeves, hair up. All right, I've got something on over my clothes. All right, this is not a cute little dress, although it looks like one. This is an apron, okay? Apron. All right, this is not for safety, really. This is more for keeping my clothes clean, y'all, because I am so messy. I make messes when I cook. Safety of your clothes, yeah. All right, welcome back, Hunter. All right, so keep your clothes clean. Yeah, the other thing is when I'm cooking and if I get something on my hands and I can't get to a towel or the sink, I just wipe my hands on my apron, right? So aprons are nice. Let's see, is there anything else? Okay, so review. Never ever leave your kitchen, all right? Once the stove is on, just consider yourself like leashed to the stove or the kitchen, right? There's a fire, you can throw a towel on it, you can put baking soda on it. Never ever throw water. All right, then you're going to put your hair up, make sure you don't have billowy sleeves, wear an apron if you want to, okay? All right, so now we're going to get started with making the quesadillas. So I'm going to educate you about quesadillas. Let me go grab the tortillas. All right, education about tortillas. This is a tortilla de maíz. Tortilla de maíz, all right? Tortilla de maíz is the traditional item that you use to make a quesadilla. They're small. Look how small it is. Look, it's about the same size as my hand, maybe a little smaller, and I have small hands, all right? So this is a tortilla de maíz, all right? Oh, that smells so good. Yum. Then we have another kind of tortilla that Americans like. Tortilla de harina. We call it a flour tortilla, right? Some of y'all like the flour tortillas better. Look at the size difference. Whoop. Whoop. All right, so my husband prefers the tortillas de harina. I prefer tortillas de maíz, although I think I changed his mind because I made some quesadillas tradicionales the other day, and he ate it off the maíz. He's like, "Ooh, this is good. This is better than the other." All right, so here we have a tortilla, and then we have, here I come, queso. Queso tortilla makes a quesadilla. Quesadilla. See how that worked? Merge the two words. Cheese, bread would be ched if we did it in English, all right? Or bries, bread with cheese, bries. All right, I call this the Mexican version of a grilled cheese sandwich, a quesadilla, right? All right, so now we're going to talk about, those are the ingredients. You got to have tortilla and you got to have some queso, all right? These are two different kinds of cheese that I buy on a regular basis. This is the Mexican blend. It's got reduced fat Monterey Jack, cheddar, asadero, and queso Queso. Oh, queso quesadilla. All right, so they're even saying on here, this is cheese that you would use in a quesadilla. All right, but guess what? This Monterey Jack queso is actually the best. I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, press the tiny box and you can see me. Okay, so this cheese is pre-grated, right? And I bought this for years, guys, and I thought this was the best cheese for quesadillas. And then I was watching a cooking show in the morning, one morning, and they were telling the audience that they put an ingredient in the grated cheese. And you know what the ingredient does? It keeps the little granules separated. Because we don't want to buy grated cheese and it be a big blob, right? Because that would be, ugh. We're not buying it for that. We want it grated. So they put an ingredient to keep it all separated and pretty in the bag. And then when you try to melt it, that little ingredient keeps it from melting. Okay, that's the whole point. We are making a quesadilla. We want the cheese to melt. So, voila. The original cheese comes in a block. And I had pretty much quit buying blocks of cheese. But they're telling me that this will melt better. So you know what? I did an experiment. I did a science experiment in my kitchen. And I made 2 quesadillas. One with the block cheese, one with the shredded cheese. This one was so much better. Oh my gosh, I loved it. And I'm gonna demonstrate it for y'all today, the same experiment. So you can see for yourself that the block cheese melts better. It just, it's delicioso. It's going to make you hungry, okay? And you're going to watch me eat. All right, so now we got to have, what do we need? We're going to cook a quesadilla. We need a frying pan, spatula, okay? What else do we need? We need some kind of oil in the pan. Olive oil, we're going to keep it healthy. Or I have butter that has olive oil in it. And some sea salt. All right, I'm gonna do one with olive oil and then I'm gonna do one with butter so you can see the difference. All right, so the first we're gonna make is the traditional quesadilla with a tortilla de maize. Boop. Okay, and I'm gonna slice the Monterey Jack cheese on it. I'm gonna show you this way first because I think of the best way. They taste better. All right, what kind of heat setting? All right. My stovetop has a setting from low to high. Low doesn't have a number on it, but the next one is a 2, and then it goes all the way up to a high, and the high comes after the number 8, so we're going to call high 9. So 1 through 9. I put mine between a 6 and a 7, okay? I want it medium warm. I don't want it super high because then the outside will burn before the cheese melts, and that's not good. All right, so it's on. It's getting warm. All right, so I'm going to pour a blob. Look at my measurements, guys. I don't have measurements with stuff like this. I'm going to do a blob. I'll try to translate it for you. That's like a teaspoon, all right? So I'm going to give it a second to warm up. You just had breakfast. I'm making you hungry. All right, so we're going to use the tortilla de maize. Tortilla de maize. Maize is the word for corn, and some people call it maize, which is kind of the same word. Let me grab a paper plate real quick. Paper plate. Okay, one more thing I forgot to tell y'all. Health and safety, I forgot to mention, wash your hands. I always wash my hands before I start cooking. I did that off camera before I started, so trust me, I wash my hands a million times a day. All right, so I'm not gonna pre-make stuff. I want y'all to see me do it in the real time. So I've got my block of cheese, and I'm gonna grab a knife. Also, kitchen safety, knives always cut away from your body, away from yourself. Never cut towards yourself. I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean, who would do that? Who would cut towards themselves? I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna, in real time, cut the amount of queso that I need. And let me just give you a heads up. I'm gonna fill half the tortilla, only half of it. And look how small it is. So I want cheese for half of it. All right, so that's not much. So here's the queso, cutting away from my body. I'm gonna turn this right here so y'all can see me, all right? According to my screen, you should be able to see me. All right, so I'm going down, cutting away from my body. You don't want it too thick because you want it to melt. All right. So here we go. Can y'all see me? Can y'all see the queso? I got 3 little pieces right here. All right. There we go. All right. You sometimes shred your own cheese. Okay, well that's good. All right, so we have our queso. Pan's getting warm. All right, I kind of move the oil around so it cuts the whole bottom of the pan. Actually, I have enough queso in here for dos. So I'm thinking, no, I'll just do one at a time. I'm going to keep it simple. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lay my tortilla. I can feel it with my hand that it's warm. I'm not going to put my hand in the pan. That would not be smart, but I can feel the heat coming out, radiating. All right, so I'm going to let that start getting warm, and then I'm going to lay the cheese on it. All right, so I'm going to tell y'all something else. If you like quesadillas, but you want something else in your quesadilla, this one, it can get kind of fun, all right? So I do this sometimes, like, I want a quesadilla, but I kind of want something else in it. You know, I don't want just like plain cheese. So I just go open my fridge, boom, and see what did I eat yesterday and the day before. I might have some leftovers. All right, so I did that for y'all. So I'm going to show you my leftovers, and we're going to decide what not this tortilla, not this quesadilla, it's going to be plain one. Then the next one, we're going to make it fancy schmancy. Chicken, okay. All right, so I'll just show y'all some of my leftovers. All right, I have some leftover from Fresh Air Barbecue. That is from Jackson, Georgia. So good. So it's like smoked pork. I also have some leftover pineapples. Pineapples, right? I was thinking this morning, I like, what's it called? Hawaiian pizza that has ham and pineapple on it. Maybe I'd like a pineapple quesadilla. If you had pancake quesadillas. Okay. All right. So also have some baby lettuce and greens, which is mainly spinach. I could put some spinach in there, raw spinach. I've done that before. I don't like it really raw. I don't really like it raw. What I do then is I just saute it in the pan for like 60 seconds, and spinach shrinks. It's like this big piece 1 minute, and the next minute it's like this little bitty like skinny thing. So it shrinks up, and then I add it to the quesadilla. So I'll do that in a minute. I'll show you how you could, if you want to add some greens to your quesadilla. All right, so it's starting to sizzle. Yes, it's sizzling. Let's see if y'all can hear it. A little sizzle there going on. All right, so now I know it's warm enough to put the cheese in it. All right, so the cheese is only going to go on 1/2. 1/2. I'm going to have to break it because this is so small. My pieces I cut are kind of big. All right. Now I'm not touching the pan with my hand. All right. So let me show y'all how much cheese I put on here. So you can see. I'm going to hold my spatula up here. Kind of hold it up so you can see. See, it's just on half. All right. The other half is plain. So I just leave it open like this for maybe 60 seconds, okay? And then the part that's got the cheese on it stays in the pan, and the part that doesn't have the cheese on it, I'm lifting that empty part over and boom, pressing it down, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. Once it starts, I see it starting to melt. The first thing you'll see melting are the edges because that gets warm first. All right. All right, so now I'm going to take my spatula and I'm going to fold it over. Fold it over like that. All right, I'm going to bring it over and show it to y'all so you can see how it's folded over. And you can hear it starting to crackle. See it folded over? Right there? starting to melt. All right, and I'm going to show y'all the cool thing about block cheese when it starts melting. I don't know if you ever had fried cheese at like a fancy restaurant, but I did one time. I had some German fried cheese. And some of it was really good and some of it smelled horrible. My kids were with me like, Mom, this stinks. We're not eating this. And I was like, sorry, it did stink. But it tasted good, but we couldn't get past the smell. Okay, so this smells good, by the way. Monterey Jack cheese really doesn't have a big scent. All right, so I'm hearing it's really sizzling now. So when it starts melting, it starts running out of the quesadilla. And when I first started making it, I was like, oh, I got to try to keep the cheese back in the quesadilla. I'm like scooping it up, trying to put it back in there. And after a minute, I said, you know what? I'm just going to let it run out. And I let it run out of the quesadilla. And it like turns into, it looks like kind of lacy. And it gets real crispy. Oh my gosh. That's my favorite part. Oh, it's running out. It's running out of the quesadilla. Let me show you. Look. It's coming out. Y'all see it coming out right there? See, the grated cheese doesn't do that. It doesn't run out of the pan, run out of the quesadilla like that. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, so it's really starting to sizzle. I'm going to flip it over now. All right, so here we go. We're going to flip it. Woo! Ooh, I got some stuck to the spatula. Look at that. So guess what? I'm going to grab it with my finger, put it on the pan. I'm going to eat that in a minute. It's going to be so good. All right, sizzling. It is sizzling. Oh, this looks so good. I'm gonna show you how it's really coming out of the tortilla. Now look at that. Isn't that cool? So yeah, I'm not trying to shove it back in there. I'm just gonna let it run out of the quesadilla. Run out of the tortilla. It's pretty much done now. You know what? I leave it in the pan. Oh, there's more cheese. I leave it in there until it gets kind of brown, because I like my quesadillas to be crispy. I want it really crunchy. Yeah, this is really, I'm going to have to taste this little piece I pulled off. That's so good. Let's try this one. So good. Here's a piece for y'all. Here you go. Here's y'all's piece. There you go. I'll eat it for you, and I'll tell you if it was good. Delicioso. Delicioso. Rico. Rico means tasty. Delicioso. Y'all know what that means, right? Delicious. Oh, now it's starting to get brown. Oh, look at that. See how brown it is? See? It's not gold anymore. It's kind of a golden brown. It's really done. Like I said, I just want it really crispy. So I'm going to leave it in there. And I'm going to plop it out on my paper plate. And I'm setting my pan to the side. I'm leaving my eye on for a minute because I'm going to make the next one. But I don't want my pan to keep getting hot. All right, so let's look at it. Isn't this beautiful? Look at that. See how the cheese ran out? You just finished your pizza and you're hungry. Well, quesadilla party. All right, so